Most men damage their hair on a daily basis without even realizing it. And some of those things you thought were healthy for your hair turn out to be the most harmful thing you could possibly be doing to your hair. So that's why it is essential to learn about these mistakes and to stop them before it's too late. Starting with mistake number 1, and that is wetting your hair daily. Look guys, I get it. It seems super disgusting not to wash your hair, especially when you just get done working out. So if you want to continue to wash and wet your hair daily, that's totally fine, but in reality, it turns out it's actually not the best for your hair. Let me break this down for you guys. So right here we have the cortex. The cortex is what forms the main bulk and color of your hair. But then you have something called the cuticle. And the cuticle is your hair's outermost protective layer. So when you wet your hair, your cortex starts to swell up. And when that cortex swells up, that means protein loss has occurred. And while this is going on, the cuticle scales are actually being raised. Now this is totally fine when you're shampooing only 2 to 3 times a week because you're cleaning your hair to get all that oil and buildup out. But when you do this on a daily basis, you can actually suffer from something called hygral fatigue. And hygral fatigue occurs when there's constantly swelling and then deswelling of the cortex. So to simplify this means that your hair is more open to breakage. Some early signs of hygral fatigue is over frizzing, your curls not curling, and flat hair. So let's say you just got done working out and you're all sweaty. Before you hop in the shower, I want you to put your hair in a high ball. Or if you have shorter hair, I'd recommend some sort of hair cover. And then just take a shower like normal, except don't get your hair wet. Now when you get out, your hair still might be sweaty from your workout, but that's okay. But you should now let down your hair, get out your blow dryer, and turn it to the coldest setting. And turn it to the highest frequency while it's still on that cold setting. Blow dry the roots of your hair, and that will completely evaporate all the sweat in your hair. Then I want you to take a dry shampoo, do a few little spritz, and you're good to go. The second mistake a bunch of guys make is not using the right hair product for their hair type. And let's be honest here, most guys don't even know what their hair type is. And they fail to realize that this is the single most important thing when picking out your hair products. For example, sulfates are known to be very harmful chemicals that can damage your hair. But they're not always bad and can actually be very beneficial if you have that specific hair type. So let's say you have a naturally greasy scalp and struggle with oil buildup. Then a shampoo that has a sulfate in it can actually be very beneficial for you. Now on the flip side, if you have a naturally dry scalp and struggle from really dry hair, that sulfate is gonna be way too powerful for your hair, which could result in dry flakes and dry your hair out even more. Look guys, the point is you need to figure out your hair type. A quick and easy way to do this is just do a Google search and look up men with different hair types. Look around through the images, and if you see one that kind of looks like your hair type and find out what that hair type is called, then do a Google search on that hair type to confirm that it is yours. Then look up your hair type shampoo. This will give you tons of results on the best shampoo and conditioners for you and your hair type. The third and most simple mistake you're making is you're just not checking your hair. Seriously, it is that simple. There's a study that showed that 2 out of 3 men will experience some sort of hair loss by the time they're 30. So I need you to just go to a mirror and run your fingers through your hair. And if you notice any bald spots or you're losing hair, now is the time to fix it before it's too late. And you need to purchase some sort of hair loss treatment like Keeps or minoxidil. Now, I personally haven't experienced any hair loss yet, but I've seen numerous studies of people that have, and these hair loss treatments have seriously worked on them and completely fixed their hair just within a few months. The fourth mistake you're making is you're not brushing your hair correctly. The most common reason of hair breakage is because of high friction and high combing force. The force is the lowest when you start from the scalp, and then it spikes once you get to the ends of your hair. And this is because your ends are most likely tangled. So that's why it is essential for you to detangle your hair before you start brushing. Now, if your hair is wet, the highest force is actually at the start of your scalp. So if you have normal, straighter hair, I would actually recommend detangling the ends of your hair and then start brushing starting from the scalp and then keep brushing until it's smooth. Now, if you have more curly / wavy hair like me, it's best to brush it when it's still wet because the overall combing force is way less. So right after I hop out the shower, that's when I start brushing my hair. I even put in a leave-in conditioner so that there's even less force and less friction. The fifth and final mistake you're making is aggressively drying your hair with a towel. Especially if you have longer hair like me, aggressively towel drying can completely damage your cuticles. So instead of going crazy on your hair with a towel right after the shower, I would recommend to gently pat down your hair with the towel to make sure you're soaking up the water. And I like to start from the roots and then work my way down to the ends. But most of the time, I'll actually use a hairdryer. So if you prefer a hairdryer like me, before you start blow drying your hair, I would recommend some sort of heat protectant. Whether that's a few drops of argan oil or a few sprays of an actual heat protectant. I'd recommend to select a low to medium heat setting, and it is safest to hold the dryer at least 6 inches away from your hair. And make sure to move the hairdryer around so you're not overheating just one section of your hair. And that's going to be it for me today. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you want to see how I got my hair to look like Alex Eubank, check it out right here. And if you want to see 5 ways to have amazing hair on a budget, click right here. I'll see you guys in the next one.